In a shocking escalation of precision warfare, Ukraine has unleashed a massive wave of FPV, first-person view, drone strikes that have devastated Russian armored forces along key points on the eastern and southern front lines. These drones, small yet deadly, penetrated deep into enemy positions and obliterated dozens of tanks and armored personnel carriers, APCs, turning Russian battalions into smoldering wreckage within hours. The scale of destruction is being hailed by Ukrainian commanders as one of the most effective uses of unmanned aerial systems in modern warfare. According to a detailed operational report released by Ukraine's armed forces, the drone strikes took place over a ferocious 72-hour assault window. During this time, FPV drones were launched continuously in coordinated waves, targeting Russian armored columns as they attempted to move through contested zones under the cover of night and camouflage nets. The footage captured by onboard cameras reveals the terrifying precision of the attacks, drones threading through narrow paths, diving at high speed, and striking tanks at their weakest points, often triggering massive internal explosions. Ukrainian drone operators, stationed safely miles away from the front line, directed the FPV units with nerve-wracking precision. These operators, many of them highly trained volunteers with engineering or tech backgrounds, navigated their drones in real time using high-resolution video feeds. They scanned the battlefield from above, patiently tracking moving targets, waiting for the perfect moment to deliver a fatal blow to exposed engine bays or turret rings, rendering the Russian armor useless in seconds. Ukraine's military command is hailing these strikes as a revolutionary step in the evolution of modern warfare. Commander of Ukraine's ground forces spoke at a press briefing, emphasizing that we are witnessing the collapse of traditional armored dominance. These small, affordable drones are defeating what were once considered invincible steel beasts. He added that the FPV campaign is now a cornerstone of Ukraine's defensive and offensive strategy, giving underdog forces a powerful technological advantage. Battle damage assessments confirm the destruction of at least 36 Russian main battle tanks, including the T-72B3 and the more advanced T-90M models, along with 21 armored personnel carriers and infantry fighting vehicles. Independent satellite imagery and verified drone footage show entire convoys of Russian hardware reduced to burnt-out husks along roadways near Avdiivka, Robotyne, and the embattled Bakhmut frontal regions where Russian forces had previously attempted to push forward with heavy armor support. The psychological impact on Russian troops has been devastating. Communications intercepted by Ukrainian intelligence reveal widespread panic, confusion, and even retreat orders issued after repeated drone ambushes. In some sectors, Russian units abandoned vehicles and fled on foot, fearing that any movement of armor would attract the attention of drone operators watching from above. The specter of a silent, unseen drone diving from the sky has sown fear throughout frontline Russian formations. The effectiveness of these FPV drones lies in their combination of affordability, adaptability, and lethality. Built using off-the-shelf components and improvised explosives, they are relatively cheap, costing between $400 and $1,000 each, yet capable of disabling or destroying multi-million-dollar tanks and transport vehicles. Their agility allows them to maneuver in tight spaces, evade enemy fire, and strike with precision that even guided missiles sometimes struggle to achieve. Ukraine's drone units, often comprised of tech-savvy civilians turned soldiers, have become a vital new branch of the armed forces. Operating from bunkers, forests, and urban ruins, these drone operators work in tandem with reconnaissance teams and artillery spotters. Together, they plan ambushes and kill zones, timing their attacks with devastating effect. In many cases, they wait for Russian units to regroup, repair, or refuel before launching synchronized drone waves to inflict maximum damage. One drone operator, a former IT specialist using the call sign Shadow, recounted a chilling engagement. "I spotted a Russian BMP-3 moving through a tree line. I followed it, inch by inch, waiting for it to stop. As soon as it did and troops began disembarking, I dived in from above and detonated the payload directly on the engine deck. The explosion ripped through the vehicle, and the soldiers scattered in panic. It was over in less than 15 seconds. I never left my seat." Russian forces have scrambled to deploy countermeasures, including electronic warfare systems and mobile jamming units. However, Ukrainian drone teams have adapted quickly, using encrypted signals, signal hopping technology, and even pre-programmed flight paths that allow the drones to complete their missions autonomously if jamming occurs. Many FPV units now fly low just a few feet above the ground, making them nearly invisible to radar or traditional detection methods. Across Ukraine, a grassroots effort has surged to support drone warfare. Civilian workshops and crowdfunding campaigns have mobilized thousands of citizens to produce drones, develop software, and build modular explosive payloads. What began as a niche innovation is now a national movement, a symbiotic partnership between military necessity and civilian innovation that fuels Ukraine's fight for survival against a much larger invader. The international response has been swift and divided. Western military analysts are praising Ukraine's use of FPV drones as a brilliant example of asymmetric warfare in action. NATO officials have expressed interest in replicating these tactics in their own training exercises. Meanwhile, Russia has condemned the strikes as inhumane, despite having used similar tactics with Iranian-supplied Shahed drones in attacks on Ukrainian cities. Military analysts agree that the widespread use of FPV drones has introduced a new chapter in combat tactics. Traditional doctrines that emphasize massed armor and firepower are being re-evaluated as agile, low-cost, tech-driven solutions prove just as, if not more, effective on the battlefield. The balance of power is shifting, not through numbers, but through intelligence, adaptability, and innovation. With the momentum swinging in Ukraine's favor, military planners are already preparing the next phase of drone warfare. New prototypes are being tested to target not only armor but mobile artillery units, radar installations, and even enemy command vehicles. Swarm tactics, where dozens of drones strike simultaneously, are being refined and could soon be unleashed in coordinated, overwhelming attacks. As armored columns continue to burn across the steppes of Ukraine, one thing is becoming clear. The battlefield of the 21st century belongs not only to the strongest armies, but to those that think faster, adapt quicker, and strike smarter. Ukraine's FPV drone operators are proving that even the most daunting threat can be neutralized by vision, precision, and fearless innovation.
Okay?